And we are getting set to get underway. We thank you again for joining us, welcoming us onto your screens here tonight on Big Ten Plus. As we get set to get underway at 125 pounds, you see Matt Ramos there in the black singlet on the left, coming into the matchup this evening undefeated. And Matt Ramos has been dominant here in this senior campaign for the senior from Illinois.
22-0, named a top 10 watch list for the Hodge Trophy earlier this week. That is a really big deal in collegiate wrestling.
Ramos getting things started early, a three-point takedown. He's been an offensive machine, Corey, this season. We talked about last season, Ramos had a little bit of a down season, not what we are used to seeing from the offensive power of Matt Ramos. He's not doing that here this season.
No, he's come out, he's got something to prove in his last campaign for the Boilermakers. 12 tech falls on the season.
And for the 21st time, Matt Ramos scores first, the 94th time in his career here in West Lafayette that he has scored first.
The most amazing note for me on Ramos, Craig, is that he hasn't been taken down yet this year. That is unbelievable.
That is unreal here in the Big Ten Conference as Ramos goes looking for more here.
You can hear that coaching in the background. His coach is on the sideline letting him know, you've got your 4 count, break the hold, go get more. He's not going to be happy with 6-0 or 7-0, 7-1. It's all about putting points in bunches for Ramos.
Associate head coach Leroy Vega, the voice you can hear hollering at Ramos from the sideline. Ramos getting the 4-point on the attempt, so 7-1 now is the advantage for Matt Ramos. On the other side of the mat for Tyler Garvin, the freshman from Rising Sun, Maryland. As the two wrestlers go to a stalemate, they will stand back up, but Tyler Garvin comes in tonight a 4-16 overall record, 0-6 in Big Ten duels this season, so would be a huge leap forward for Garvin if he was able to pull off the upset against Ramos here this evening.
Yeah, Garvin's kind of been thrown to the wolves here his freshman season, 14 straight losses. His last win came back on December 8th. For Garvin, for the Terps, it's like I said at the beginning of our show, Craig, it's about limiting the damage. If he can make this a major decision instead of a tech fall, that would be a win for the Terps at this point. He's down 10-1.
Coming up under 40 seconds to go, period number 1. Matt Ramos with a 9-point advantage, 10-1. He's been dominant here in the opening stanza of this meet. Both these teams jockeying for position as we head down the path to the Big Tens in a couple of weeks and the NCAAs. Towards the end of March, Ramos looking to flip the hips and get the attempt here. Going to get a count under 15 seconds. And Matt Ramos will get a 4-point near fall, 14-1 now as time is running out in period number 1, and a good start for the Purdue Boilermakers here at 125 pounds.
It is. That was a good effort there by Garvin. He kept his base as wide as he possibly could, which leverage-wise, physics-wise, it made it hard for Ramos to flip him. It took 2 or 3 attempts, but Ramos eventually found the leverage and got his 4 points.
Well, I mean, if you're Garvin, though, you take the advantages where you can. I mean, again, this is a learning experience for the young freshman from Rising Sun, Maryland.
Neutral to start the second. Minute 54 ride time, in addition to the 14 points in the first period.
Ramos looking to continue his dominance here in 2024-2025. Gonna get the big mat return, airplane spin, and takes him down. And gets the 3 points, and Ramos, with a little bit of flash, will finish off the victory 17-1. And he flashes the heart to the home fans here in West Lafayette.
Yeah, a little Valentine for the fans here on February 14th. Ramos, dominant victory. That helicopter, Joey Blaze against Kevin Schork.
Yeah, unfortunately, breaking news at 157 pounds. Ethan Miller will not be wrestling against Joey Blaze here this evening. Kevin Schork, the redshirt junior from Richmond, Virginia, will be wrestling in his place. Blaze, the number 7th ranked wrestler in the country at 157 pounds. Sophomore from Perrysburg, Ohio. Has to be frustrating here, not only for the Purdue Boilermakers, but for Joey Blaze, because I'm sure he was looking forward to this matchup.
And for our viewing audience. We were all looking forward to that matchup, but as you said, Ethan Miller will get the night off, and Blaze will get Schork. Kevin Schork, meanwhile, his last match was on December 8th. He's just not gotten a lot of run for the Terps here this season. He's 1-4 overall on the year. His last match was a loss to his teammate, Mackay Neal, at the George Mason Patriot Open.
So Joey Blaze coming in here tonight expecting to step on the mat with an opponent familiar with, someone top ranked as he is himself. How does it affect a wrestler when they get on the mat then and they change so quickly, knowing you're not going to get to wrestle the opponent you prepared for, as Blaze gets a 3-point takedown here?
What he needs to make sure is that it doesn't affect him at all. Much like in a tournament setting, you don't know who the next guy is going to be stepping across from you. If you prepare for someone, you may get someone else based on an upset, or you just go out and you focus on your match. Joey Blaze needs to go out, do his thing, and we've seen that so far with 2 very quick takedowns.
Yeah, 6-1 advantage for the sophomore from Perrysburg, Ohio.
Looking at an optional start here as well.
Blaze 14-3 this season overall, 4-0 in Big Ten duels, 6-2 versus ranked opponents. One of those 2 losses being Ethan Miller earlier on this season. We'll have to wait, catch that matchup in the Big Tens hopefully in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
2-point reversal awarded to Schork, and Blaze responds with another 3-point takedown, his 3rd of the matchup. 1-point escape for Schork. Good. Blaze setting the table here.
I like that duck under attempt from Schork. He saw Blaze working very heavily on his head, said, let's give this a shot. Didn't work out for him, but it was a good try. Blaze just working too strong on top, and Joey Blaze asks for injury time on his right knee, which has been an issue. Not sure if it's a knee or a leg cramp. We will hope for the best for Joey Blaze. It looks like he's rubbing out his right calf maybe. Blaze got injured at the Cliff Keen Las Vegas Open and missed about 4 weeks worth of action coming out of that. So he asks for injury time here, which will go on the clock, and he'll go get. They'll take their time now that they're on the clock. The other thing that we'll get out of this is it'll be Schork's decision for how to restart.
A 12-3 advantage for Blaze here in the first. 4 takedowns. Never, what you want to see here. The Boilermaker faithful is very quiet in here after Blaze rolled over on his side and grabbed his knee, but the hero's greeting here is looked like the trainer snipped off. We take another look here. You see the leg there of Blaze in a tough situation, possibly hyperextended, but Blaze a gamer, going to keep going here.
If you see, you started to mention it, Craig, the athletic trainer sliced the tape up about 1/3 of the way on the knee. It may be just a case of where it was too tight and squeezing the muscle and causing a cramp.
So Blaze getting fixed up here under 30 seconds, period number 1. 12-4 is the score.
So strong.
Some is good, more is better. Joey Blaze with his 5th takedown of period number 1. 15-4 is the advantage under 10 seconds.
And he will look to probably stay in bounds. Nope, they're going to go out with under 4 to go. Thought he might just hang out there and let the period end.
Joey making some more adjustments to the tape job now. This time his finger.
He's mad at the tape.
That's all that it was. It's too tightly wrapped up. His time will expire in period number 1. Joey Blaze leading Kevin Schork 15-4. Dominant performance from Blaze here in period number 1.
Just exactly what the Boilermakers needed out of their sophomore 157-pounder to come out and take care of business. Run up some points and see if you can get that tech fall.
They're underway here. Period number 2, 1-point escape for Schork. A nice sprawl there by Schork. Not playing into the length of Blaze.
Schork, a 3-time state finalist out of the state of Virginia, 1-time champion. Grew up in Richmond.
6th 3-point takedown of the matchup for Joey Blaze, 18-5 now.
Good work here on top from Blaze. He will try and put together some combination on top instead of running more catch and release.
Blaze lets Schork up. 1-point escape, 18-6 now. Blaze shoots right back into the single, looking for the 3-point takedown.
3-point takedown would end it for Blaze as he's now up.
Leroy Vega, assistant coach for the Purdue Boilermakers, Matt side here hollering out action at Joey Blaze, and that will do it. 21-6, Joey Blaze will get the victory. Not the one he was looking for, Corey, but a victory nonetheless. 15-3 now is Joey Blaze, 5-0 in Big Ten duels.
Like we said, though, come on, take care of business, and now he's got one more match until he turns his attention to the postseason. Joey Blaze doing about as well as could be expected here in Big Tadia and Chase Mielnik. Sorry, I believe they announced Jack Dara for the Terps.
Ben Vanadia, the number 27th ranked wrestler at 197 pounds. Redshirt junior from Brecksville, Ohio, 15-8 this season, 3-3 in Big Ten duels. Had a big victory against Gabe Nagel, a 7-1 decision against the Boilermakers duel against Minnesota last weekend.
Dara, redshirt sophomore out of St. Louis, transferred in from Stanford.
No score here early on. Both wrestlers have come out of the chute aggressive here. Ben Vanadia, another one of those guys for the Purdue Boilermakers, 27th ranking, trying to be in those top 33. A great opportunity for Vanadia here over the next 2 weeks to secure his spot. Under 2 minutes, period number 1, no score.
This is the type of match, like you say, if you're Vanadia trying to secure something, you need to come out and show something. You need to come out and win this match. Like, don't fall into a 2-1 victory. Come out and try and exert your dominance on an inexperienced man from the other side, unranked opponent from the other side. (26-16) was Dara's overall record through 2 seasons at Stanford.
Vanadia responds, a 3-point takedown. Not a bad record for Dara in the waiting moments of the Pac-12 conference. Now taking his talents here to the Big Ten.
By the way, if Vanadia wins this, it sews up the dual win for Purdue as well. A lot riding on this result.
A 2 for Tuesday here at 197 pounds. Under a minute to go. Vanadia does have the 3-point advantage right now.
This is Dara's 5th match in the Maryland Red. It's 2-2.
Vanadia pumping up that ride time as well, coming up on 50 seconds as he's been in control for the last minute and 15 seconds here. The wrestlers are off the mat. Right over there in front of Ethan Miller, who is a healthy scratch here this evening. You see him in the background there, the blonde locks. I mean, how do you, you know, you come in here expecting to get on the mat and do some work, and then you're told, hey, you got the night off, kid? Like,
it's tough. They waited till after he made weight, too. So Could have at least told him this morning, let him have breakfast,
I was going to say, let me at least eat some breakfast, man. Come on now. Coming up on 10 seconds here, period number 1. Then Vanadia off to a good start here against Jack Dara. And time will expire. 3-0.
Fact of the matter is, Big Ten match results matter. Big Ten match results near the end of the season have a bit more of a magnifying glass. But, when you're looking at, you got 14 guys seeded at the Big Ten championships, every seed line matters. So every head-to-head matchup matters. If you get a win over someone, maybe you don't need a second win over them. Maybe you can go to that seeding meeting and say, hey, we beat that guy. We don't need to be ranked below him. And there's some of that goes on every year at a lot of different weight classes at a lot of different schools. This isn't taking a shot at anybody. Virtually everyone has done it. It's just unfortunate when it happens for the viewing public.
Well, I mean, it isn't unfortunate. And I remember a couple of seasons ago, as Jack Dara gets the 1-point escape. But I remember a couple of seasons ago, a matchup here against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They were in the top 5 in the country, and half of their roster didn't make the mat that day because it was the last meet of the year and they didn't need to. As Vanadia finishes the 3-point takedown 6-1, but I mean, it really is a science and numbers matter here as we wind down in this 2025 season. The best part is the proof was always in the pudding, and you get to see that here in a couple of weeks when the Big Ten championships in Evanston, Illinois, and then head to the city of brotherly love, who's after today having a really nice time. But the NCAAs will be at the Wells Fargo Center this year in Philadelphia, a big time.
That'll be a good scene.
Big time scene for NCAA wrestling.
With the year that Penn State is expected to have, that's going to be a crazy scene.
I got to ask you too. I just thought about this. How many wrestlers that are going to be in town that weekend for the NCAAs are going to try to run those stairs, run those rocky stairs in Philadelphia, man?
Every single one of them.
With the NCAA championship as they run it up.
The art museum should be out there selling tickets. Okay, you need to pay $5 to run the stairs.
It's 10 if you're wearing the medal. A stalemate as these wrestlers will get stood back up. 6-1 is the score. It's just under 15 seconds to go, period number 2. Ben Vanadia looking good here early on against Jack Dara, looking to get the victory.
Yeah, good to see Vanadia go out there and perform. We've seen several Boilermakers do that here tonight. Maybe they're getting an opponent they weren't expecting. But go out and focus on your moves, your holds, and your points.
Well, it would also put Vanadia over 500 in Big Ten duels here this season. And he'll take a 5-point advantage into period number 3 here at 197 pounds. The Purdue Boilermakers looking to lock up the dual victory, which would be their 3rd of the season. It would also be their 10th overall victory this season. Twinkle toes there from Vanadia as he's able to get out of the reach of Dara. Dara has just seemed to come up just a little bit short here, just an inch or so, just missing Vanadia. Collar and elbow tie again in the middle of the mat. Both men jockeying for position. Kind of on a minute to go here, period number 3. Kind of in a stalemate here. Both these guys here in period number 3, but Ben Vanadia changes that real quick with a 3rd 3-point takedown of the matchup, leading 9-1 now, and less than a minute to go. Corey, what do you want to see here?
Well, Vanadia looks like he's not going to get the chance to go to work on top. Maybe he'll bust Dara down. Nice reshot there to get this takedown and run this thing up to a major. Now Vanadia with a 9-1 and the riding time secured. A 9-point advantage. If he can ride this out, that would be a very good sign.
Three minutes and almost 40 seconds of ride time for Vanadia. Under 20 seconds to go here.
getting that third takedown. I like that Dara was trying to stay aggressive and do something here in the third, but I loved Vanadia's response as well. He gets that takedown and runs up the major decision.
The Boilermaker faithful here in Holloway Gym giving Ben Vanadia a round of applause as he picks up his fourth Big Ten dual victory of the season, a 10-1 major decision